my daughter when she was having problems. She was debating whether to keep the child or not at that time. So she went to see a social worker. Through that social worker in Waianae, she was able to get something going and talked about Ohana Conferencing. And because of that, we were readily to get involved in it, to get her situation up instead of letting her stay in the situation that she was in and the emotional status that she was in at that time too. So with that social worker's help, getting this started from Waianae side, then we were able to bring it up to Waipahu, where they had called, set up an appointment with my husband, brought it here to our church, and then they explained themselves, who they were and what they were all about. And the Ohana Conference said that we're here to help not only the child that's involved, but the whole family. So I said, oh, it's just like alulike. And they said, oh, I love working together in that manner. And so it's like, here I am getting all excited, and he's telling me, calm down. I said, well, this is the answer to prayer. Something that I could never think of, trying to reach my daughter, yet working with the social service at the same time. Whereas Ohana Conference comes in and help us meet each other right at that borderline right there, and where we won't have at times we might have a difficult time understanding the process, and yet Ohana Conference will come in and clarify it for us as we continue on in a walk towards the goal that was set during the conference time. So I was very happy to see each goal being met step by step. It wasn't an instant one, but it was a progress that we had to take to reach the goal and meet everyone in their emotional state of mind, and also in the clarification of the legal work involved.
I first heard about Ohana Conferencing when it was this new model in the state of Hawaii. And just the word Ohana gave me a message that it was more family friendly.
I first heard about Ohana Conference through my worker.
First of all, I thought, oh no, somebody's going to come and dig into my private life, which maybe I don't want to hang out my laundry.
I was first told about the Ohana Conferencing and what it constituted in terms of bringing family members together, significant people in the children's lives, in the adults' lives, grandparents, friends, supporters. I thought, what a genius idea to surround this couple and these children with all these resources.
I asked them, what do I have to do to get my daughter back? How do I go about doing it? They wrote everything down. They gave me a dateline or how do I go about where to start? And all of, and they told me.
When I had my Ohana conference, I was hoping to, write down the goals and go through the service plan with them that I needed to be done to complete my program, to get my kids back. Just going step by step, slowly going into what needs to be accomplished to get those things. It's short-term goals for now, and we would go in further into long-term goals, and I have been achieving those so far with them and with their help, so it was great. Yeah.
I think it was in 1997 or 96 when I had the experience of having my own family members involved in Ohana Conferencing, and I was delighted.
Some of the questions I had for Ohana Conferencing was, what goals are we going to set? Who could we bring to Ohana Conferencing? I got details on what Ohana Conferencing was about.
It's a model that we can use without having to use the courts as we have in the past, as being the only avenue to getting families and children together again. Um, it's a genuine model that involves other resources in the community, less costly perhaps.
With Ohana Conference, like, they helped us reach our goals. And my CPS worker told me that I won't get my kids until 6 months, so don't think about getting my kids. And I was like, 6 months? I never been without them. And when I had Ohana Conferencing, and Denise, she was awesome. She's like, well, Ray, if you work your program, do what you have to do, then we can do another Ohana conference within 3 months and see where you're at.
We got our children back in 3.5 months.
3.5.
Yeah, 3.5.
We got our kids back in 3.5 months under home supervision.
Yep.
And they're just about to close our case.
It helped us to deeply communicate with the parents that are troubled, to be more open to us. Even though we raised them in a Christian family, taught them the values of life and right and wrong, they still hid that part of their lives. And this opened them up to us. And we are very thankful. Thank you, Jesus. But thank you for using people in the Ohana Conference to open that side that we couldn't reach as parents.
The conference helped my family get on the path. The path's long. The path's long.
They know their can'ts, our rights, and what we can and cannot do. So they were our guidance.
I think it gave my family a second chance. I really don't know if I think if it was just me against CPS one-on-one, no ways. I'd probably drown. With Ohana there, they helped. That's all I know.
I would have to say Ohana Conference helped my family with our goals. I really have to stress goals and time frame. That was the most important and value to me because CPS wouldn't give me that. I needed to know. I needed to have faith and keep my head up. Yeah, for me, my kids, and my family.
What I saw taking place was the resourcefulness of our family was drawn together. Aunties were present, people who supported my daughter, people on my son-in-law's side from his family who supported him were drawn into the circle. So this huge support system, the circle kept growing, and they could recognize that there were many, many people in their lives who really cared about them and their children.
With Ohana Conference, I learned a lot about the CPS and how it works. Because before Ohana Conference came in, I didn't know. I just was doing everything, whatever my service worker did, which wasn't much. And I didn't get too much of an understanding with her. She just wrote it down, this and this needs to be done. But to get understanding, to know what it is, why you have to do it, and why, all these things, that's how I learned, and that's what Ohana Conference is.
It gave us our perspective, it communicated well, it got us to commit to supporting our daughter, who was has to go through programs also. And just being there physically, both of us, not just one parent, but both parents. It was a commitment to the child and to my daughter, who needs that assurance that there are people who are looking out for her interest. I mean, I was amazed at the network of people involved in the Ohana Conference, social workers, nurses, and just everybody coming together. Just unbelievable. I couldn't imagine all the connections that's necessary in seeing the well-being of a child and my daughter also. Yeah.
We had Ho'oponopono. It's a major model for bringing families together to forgive. Forgive the harm, forgive the mistakes, and to learn from them and to go on.
Fear not. Ohana Conference is there for you, first of all, so that you can have a better understanding in the steps to take and get the great background of support. And with that, you're able to see clearly with their support and also work with your family, again, unifying to become one and not a divided one.
If I were to meet a family that was on their way to seeing Ohana, I would let them know that have all their questions and concerns ready for them so that they could be answered through them so they could go try and start something with CPS. And don't be afraid to be yourself in front of Ohana, because they're not looking at you as an individual, they're just trying to help. And if a family is on the way to see Ohana, that's like a thumbs up. Something's good.
If I were to meet a family that was about to go to Ohana Conferencing, I would tell them, hurry, hurry, get all you can out of this moment, because you will find it is the greatest support in your life. And trust the people that are leading and facilitating, that all the things that need to come forth will come forth for you, and all the things that need to be in place will be put in place for your success and your reunification with your children.
I hear at first a lot of people didn't like Ohana Conference because they didn't know what to expect. But I know if they give Ohana Conference a chance, they really, really realize that they're there for them. And that, like I stress again, goals. They're there to help them with their goals. Because I found out, like, even if CPS, when you go there and they'll say, okay, this is what you have to do, Raylene, in order to get this. And this is what CPS has to do. So I know that CPS has to do this. It's not my responsibility, it's them. And they have to do that for me. Whereas I have to wonder about it. Ohana Conference, I mean, you can always call them at any time and say, look, this is the situation that I'm in. Do you have any advice? What should I do? And they'll give it to you. You know what I mean? It's not like they, oh, why, and this and that. I would have to say Ohana Conference works, and it got reunification for me and my kids, and me and my family, and we're happy.
Definitely safe thing to do. It's a big thing. It's a family, getting family to support that person in this struggle or thing that I have, the CPS that I have, and it really does help. It really does. Without it, I don't think I would have gotten this far. Yeah, really, I don't think so. Or got visits this early, or haven't visited my kids or anything, you know. And then when I had that conference, I had a visit right after, so that was great. Now I got them back.
The Ohana Conference networks the families to come together and in support of the person who's the issue, really, in support of. And gives us a perspective, really the word is perspective, about what's going to happen, what's it all about.
I'm very grateful and thankful that you guys have this program and have this Ohana Conferencing. There's a lot of people out there who need it and who should be in this program. It really does help with families, gatherings and stuff. Gosh, I did accomplish a lot with these guys. I did too. more than I should have, more than I thought I could do. But yeah, I hope that everybody who's in the Ohana Conference keeps it and does it, and it works.
I would describe Ohana Conferencing as one, family friendly and children friendly, of course.
Ohana Conferencing has put me on the road with myself and my children, a progressing road that I need to focus on, and and basically just taught me how to focus on life and just live positive and just do it, just do the right things for yourself and your kids.
It really teaches, as you engage in Ohana Conferencing, it actually teaches the participants how to solve problems, how to set goals, how to follow through with them, and how to accomplish them in a timely manner and to feel successful. We wanted to have a model and a program that actually identified families as being very capable within themselves, extended families, and how wide that circle goes for that adult and that child. We're surrounded by resourceful people, but no one ever called them together. No one ever brought them into the same room at the same time to say, what shall we do to resolve this? And how should we do it? And so here was Ohana Conferencing, doing exactly that. This intelligent idea, a smart idea. This is the way it needs to go.